And you're very welcome back. Now, Irish Times journalist and feminist writer Ro McDermott says beauty pageants are sexist and objectify women, while burlesque dancer, singer and actress Sarah Louise Mulligan believes that they actually helped her career. They're both with us in studio this morning. Well, good morning, ladies. Thank you very much for coming on.
Morning.
Ro, as you were first there in the intro, I'll start with your good self. What is your problem with beauty pageants?
I'm inherently suspicious of anything that, first of all, judges women on the basis of their looks, because I think women are far more than that. Obviously, we're fully rounded human beings, and we've been reduced to our looks for such a long time in a way that is dehumanizing and objectifying, and still is pervasive in society. Women are valued for their looks. We're valued for our youth. We're devalued as we get older. Women are devalued based on their weight. Like, there's significant statistics that show, like, fat women, for example, earn far less than thin women. They're discriminated against, they seem to be incompetent. So we have a lot of looks-based ideology in our society that's really damaging. And then when you look at beauty pageants, they also, they encourage a lot of other very dodgy dynamics around women. They encourage a lot of classism, a lot of beauty pageants. There's a lot of entry fees involved. There's a lot of cost involved that prohibits a lot of working class women, for example, from partaking. There's a lot of rules regarding eligibility in terms of you can't have had children, you can't have been married, which is not even about beauty, it's eligibility, it's respectability, it's virginity.
But if we could bring it back a bit to the beauty thing, I mean, presumably, you know, you were going to come on TV today. I'm sure you thought about what you were going to wear, you put your makeup on, as did I, but it doesn't devalue the fact that you have an opinion, the fact that you're a journalist and your body of work to date. Can't you have both?
But you can be presentable and, you know, go on camera and look vaguely presentable, hopefully. But to get into a beauty pageant, you have to fill a certain criteria of very patriarchal beauty standards that are a lot to do with weight and body type. So, for example, like curvier women are often completely excluded. Ability, women with disabilities are hugely excluded from these, and often to do with race as well. There are a lot of standards of beauty that are inherently Eurocentric and white. So when women of colour are allowed to enter beauty pageants, they're often lighter skinned, they have slimmer noses. So there's all these very insidious forms of beauty standards that beauty pageants uphold.
And these are some of the problems you have. Sarah Louise, let's bring you in then a little bit. You've been a burlesque dancer, an actress, you've done bikini shots. Does that make you less of a feminist?
First of all, I am not a feminist. I'm all for, you know, showing your body as much as you can, because at the end of the day, we should be proud to be in our skin. And second of all, like, I've been a burlesque performer. I've been a former burlesque performer. I'm actually not a burlesque performer at the moment, so I just want to set the record straight. I also did a test shoot for Playboy many years ago, and I don't think women should be repressed in any way. I think there's nothing more beautiful than a woman who's in a bikini. I mean, I've been known to pose in American bikinis. I've also been known to rollerblade up and down Venice Beach with my American bikini on. And you know, at the end of the day, I wouldn't be sitting here on this couch telling you about this if it wasn't for beauty pageants. I was also a finalist in the Dublin Rose at Tralee, and I'm proud of that. And women should be proud of their looks.
I write a sex column, and I'm also have been involved in burlesque as well. I don't actually have as much of a problem with burlesque, because burlesque has a history of, first of all, embracing different body types and being a very body positive industry. It's more creative. Women are performing. It's not all to do with nudity. There's like relationships with cabaret and circus art and aerial performing. But there are also a lot of men who do burlesque, and burlesque is becoming like quite big in Ireland in particular. And that's where it is. It's more equal, whereas beauty pageants are still completely focused on women. And even that idea, I'm sex positive, like the idea that feminism, first of all, is exclusive from sex positivity is completely outdated. It's like, that's not what it's about. It's about equality and empowerment. But for example, again, the Rose of Tralee, there were rules saying you couldn't have had a child up until very recently. You couldn't be married. So again, it's kind of harking on these ideas of respectability and virginity, which is exactly the opposite of what you're supporting. So that's why I'm against beauty pageants, but again, would be more supportive of burlesque.
And what do you think of Rose's opinions then, Sarah Louise?
Well, first of all, like, from a personal perspective, I mean, I've done nude scenes, and I've also, you know, I've never been
in beauty pageants, though.
I know it's not, but like, I mean, at the end of the day, when we look at Miss America was invented in 1921, and the reason why it was invented was because women were being judged on how beautiful they look in a bathing suit. I mean, that's how Miss America happened, you know. And I've always fancied myself, you know, going in for Miss America. Obviously, I'm Irish, so I can't really do that. But at the end of the day, I think it's atrocious that they took away the Miss America Bikini section to the competition, because I work out in the gym and there's nothing more I love to do but put on my bikini and, you know, do photo shoots. It makes me feel empowered as a woman. I don't think women should have to cover up. And I also believe that Miss America, you know, all the different women who are competing should have a choice if they want to strut around in their bikini. I don't think they should just take that away.
But it's not like their right to strut around in a bikini on a beach is being taken away from them. It's saying in this particular realm where you're going to be, if you win, you're going to be rewarded with money. You're going to get opportunities that other people don't get. You're going to be famous. You're going to have the opportunity to have a public platform. In that realm, we're not going to reduce your chance at getting that opportunity to how you look in a bikini. It's not about removing your right to feel great in your body and embrace your body privately or indeed publicly, like on a public beach. But in this forum, saying we're not going to limit women's opportunities to how they look in a bikini, which I think is absolutely right. And I think in the past year, when they have removed the bikini portion of Miss America, viewership dropped by over 1 million people. True. And that was just 1 million people who knew that the bikini swimsuit had been dropped. So other people were waiting for it, which shows that people are completely basing beauty pageants on wanting to look at and objectify women who fulfill a very small form and very limited form of beauty standards.
Let's be honest, right? I'm a woman, and there's nothing more in this world I love to see is a woman in a bikini and being confident in herself, you know. And I mean, men and women only really tune in to look at the women in their bikinis, so they've lost ratings. So I can't understand the psychology behind that.
Trying to get away, like, I love women feeling confident in themselves, and I love body positivity, and I think the feminist body positivity movement is about everybody feeling comfortable and confident in their body, no matter what they look like, which is such a beautiful idea.
What about women who wear pussy hats?
What's that, Sarah Louise?
Well, I mean,
what about that?
I mean, like, let's be honest, they're allowed to wear pussy hats. Why can't
they're not allowed during beauty pageants? In fact, beauty pageants, because there are advertisers involved, because there are sponsorships involved, women are prevented a lot of the time, or disincentivized at least, from expressing like political opinions that might feel divisive, that might alienate judges. So women are actually made to be more banal than they might be as a person. They're meant to tone down their politics, their personal views, and present themselves in a very respectable, palatable way that appeals to a huge amount of people, the broadest amount of people, instead of being true to who they are.
And look, we're talking about adults who fully consent to entering these beauty pageants, knowing all of this. But what do you feel about children entering beauty competitions?
Well, that's where I draw the line. You know, children should not be sexualized in any way, shape, or form. I mean, if we look at the beautiful young girl who we don't really know what happened to her, John Bonet, I mean, that should never happened. And I don't... Like, hopefully there isn't beauty pageants being run in Ireland, because I know that would be something I would protest against. And if I had children myself, I wouldn't like to be dressing them up in little skirts and putting makeup on. Children should be allowed to, you know, run around free, and they shouldn't have to grow up before their time. So that's how I feel about that.
And I mean, Ro, I don't really have to ask how you feel about it. It's exactly the same. What sort of ideas do you think it would be giving to children?
From my limited exposure to beauty pageants that involve children, I mean, obviously there's inherent ideas of like little girls wearing makeup and having to fulfill a very adult standard of beauty then with like false eyelashes and lipstick and this very adult look. But I also think with beauty competitions for children that pitch young girls against each other, that's inherently sowing the seed of competition and making young girls look at themselves and look at their bodies and compare themselves to other girls and maybe feel uncomfortable. And I think we have a rhetoric that I don't think is true and I think is quite damaging, that like girls are always in competition with each other and girls are catty and don't have friendships.
You know, it's healthy to have competition. I mean, competition
not
goes
about
on.
your body when you're a child. No, I don't think children should be looking at each other and saying...
Not like concerning children. I mean, grown-up adults. There's nothing wrong with that.
Competition and judgment, however, are very different. So if you're looking at a woman and saying, I'm comparing my body to you and I'm feeling bad about myself, or I'm feeling better about myself because I'm judging you in a negative way, that's judgment. Competition, if it's in terms of skill or opportunity or career,
But beauty and brains go
different.
together, I think.
Why on earth would you think that?
Oh, because,
inherently.
come on,
Why?
let's be honest. Every single human being, when we look at a human being, we're looking at how they dress, you know, their physical appearance. It's the first thing we see even before a human being opens their mouth. I mean, if a person is going for a job and there's a girl who's maybe not so pretty, and then there's another woman who is really, really pretty, I mean, who's going to get the job?
Exactly, and they do, and that's the form of discrimination.
We are going to have to wrap it up. But some very interesting thoughts put out there by both of you. Thank you very much. We would love to get your opinion on what we discussed here this morning. You know how to get in touch. And still to come this morning, we'll be showing you the second part of our exclusive interview with the Princess of Pop, Kylie Minogue. Plus, Joe Shannon will be in the kitchen serving up a simple beef stir-fry, perfect for the whole family. See you in a few.